guys, today I'm going to talk to you about the Lightless Beacon. Here at Quest Portal we have 2 adventures that you can claim for free, which are both Call of Cthulhu 7th edition scenarios, and they're free, ready to play, and we've given it a little bit of a love here at Quest Portal. If you are planning to play, then please click away, because this is very much for the keepers that want to run this session and you don't want to spoil it for yourself. So, Lightless Beacon is a pretty short scenario. You can play it up to 3 hours. You could do it faster also if you want. It was originally designed to play at conventions. And it's important to know that it was actually also written for the Greg Stafford Day. And Greg Stafford founded Chaosium in 1975. So it's a very nice adventure to run when you're introducing Call of Cthulhu to new players. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about how this scenario is constructed. It all happens here on Beacon Island, which is great because it keeps your players in one place. On this island is a lighthouse, and the lighthouse is currently broken. The players crash their ship and then have to either swim to shore or do something else to try to get to the island. When the investigators manage to get to the island, and they should arrive around here, they then have more or less 2 choices, which is one is to go and investigate the cottage lighthouse, the other is to walk around the island and find clues. They then spend time going around the island that is currently crawling with some horrible monsters that they might be able to hear in the dark and find out what has happened to the inhabitants on this island. The final showdown in this scenario is where they actually have an encounter with these younglings or monsters that are on the island and either choose to fight them or perhaps they will try to run for their lives. Fighting Call of Cthulhu is always very dangerous, and it's good to tell your players that this is a very deadly kind of game. Let's now have a look at how you might run this game on Quest Portal. So, if you go and have a look into the notes, you can see here is the intro to Call of Cthulhu, and these are the basic rule sets that are free online that you can have a look through. What's great is that we also do have Call of Cthulhu in the library, so the basic rule set is free for everyone, and your players can go and read about the rules here too. We have this great feature that allows you to bookmark things in the book, and that just allows you to find things quickly if you need it. Also, we have a pretty neat search function, so you can find something very quickly if you know what you're looking for. Here, we can see the intro to the Lightless Beacon. We have information about all the investigators here, and you can have a look at that. There are some tips on running the game, the scenario structure. These time-ins are given to people that are running this at the convention, so don't worry too much about it. If you want to run a longer game, you just spend a little bit more time on some sections. You also have the scenario overview. Then we start here, run the Lightless Beacon. We started by giving a few tips on how to use Quest Portal. You have the story here, and it's very important to read this through and understand this well. And down below, we've linked a YouTube video from a great channel that really helps you understand the kind of core structure of the story. So I really recommend that you watch that. Here you can see the island overview. And if you right-click on this note, you can actually open it up and have it in a window next to you, maybe while the investigators are exploring the island, so you can quickly see where they're going. We tried to break down the adventure so it'd be easy for you to navigate it when you're running it, but you can always move things around and do it the way that's most comfortable for you. We felt like the 2 main parts were the island and the lighthouse beacon, and that's why they're put here in 2 folders, but you can do it whatever way you want to. And also, if you want to add something, you can just write into the notes. All the handouts are here at the bottom in a folder, and you can share this with your player by moving it into the public notes. And if you look here in scenes, then we've also included them at the bottom of the scenes, just so if players want to see it a little bit more visually. Also, if you do want to change any of your scenes, you just click on the scene and you can edit here. You can change the music, you can put some other images in if you want. Now, when you've read the whole scenario and you feel like you have a good overview of the story, the next step is to invite your friends. We have set up the pre-generated characters that come with this adventure, and here at the front you can set them as claimable or you can add them to players even if you want. The characters are also here when you click character sheets. And just remind players that everything that's in these character sheets is available to everyone. So if they do have any character secrets, they should write that in their private notes. In Call of Cthulhu, the keeper can ask for a certain type of role, and if you right-click on the stats in the character sheets, you can see the different types of roles that you might ask for. Also, if you do need to change any of these stats, you can right-click and there's an edit button. Okay, I think that's everything. If you do want to know more or if you have any questions, just make sure to comment. And it would be great if you could subscribe. Also, make sure to add us on Discord and tell us how the game went. We'd love to hear how the Lightless Beacon worked for you, and we are always open to some feedback and comments because we're working on our product as we speak. Good luck with running the scenario, and see you next time.